Woo! Welcome to Friday the 13th Full Moon Madness edition of the Comic Hall. I am your host, Dylan Lang, at Hollidill, Holidil, on Twitter. And welcome to my show. Woo! Hey everybody, how's it going? It is 9:21 p.m. on a Friday the 13th in June. 7 days from now, on June 20th, it will be my birthday. I just want to put that out there, so haha. But we're not here about to talk about that. This is my show, The Comic Hall. This is my second show. I also do a show on Sundays at 12:30 p.m. called Dylan Knows, and that one I actually have guests on, co-hosts and stuff like that. This one is just me, myself, and I, and I'm okay with that. This is supposed to be usually a weekly show, but because of our financial issues, my financial issues anyway, I will have to satisfy with 2 weeks till probably the fall when things get a little bit easier for us. But for now, that's okay. I've got 2 weeks worth of comics to share with everybody, and that is the premise of this show. This show is basically me telling you what I bought from the comic store. I've been doing this now since, I think, April, so I think we're on the 10th or 11th episode right now. So that's cool. Hold on one second. Hold on one second, please, people. I have some technical difficulties. What?
Subtitles.
Where's the subtitle? Just press it once, then press it again, and then hit exit, because it'll stay up there. It's all right. That was my lovely wife, just trying to help her out with my the DVD remote control. She's watching Doctor Who right now, which is fine, once again. So, 2 weeks worth of comics. Basically, the reason why I'm doing this show is not only to show you what I bought, but to tell you that you guys should go out and buy the same stuff as well. Thank you, Holly, for watching. I don't usually have I don't have the Q&A up for this just because it's just me talking about comics that I bought. I do a regular comic show, first Sunday of every month. I did my one a couple weeks ago. I've got my paranormal show coming up on Sunday with my friend Cindy. We'll be talking about Stephen King and his paranormal aspect as well, but we'll talk about that later at the end. But right now, these are comics that have shipped the last 2 weeks that I bought. These aren't all the comics I collect, but due to my finances, I had to pick and choose which ones I want to get. So the way I do it is I do DC first, then Marvel, then Independence afterwards. So that's how I roll. This is 2 weeks worth of comics, so you might be able to find last week's stuff still at your comic store, and this week's stuff. It's interesting. This week, a ton of stuff I bought. Last week, not so much. So here we go. This is June 4th stack. See, not too hefty, but pretty good. This is stuff that I bought today that came out last week. So, without further ado, this is the Comic Hall. Friday the 13th, Family Full Moon Edition. Ha 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 ha. My first book of the week, or 2 weeks ago I should say, is also my pick of the week as well. It is Tiny Titans: Return to the Treehouse. Now, for those who don't know what Tiny Titans is, it is a family-friendly, all-edition comic book featuring members of the Teen Titans as young kids who hang out and play and do all kinds of fun stuff. It's by Art Baltazar and Franco. The series ran on at DC for about 50 issues not too long ago. They canceled it, and now it's come back for, I believe, a 6-issue miniseries, maybe to see how well it does. Maybe they'll keep it up, but I think we'll see what happens. Hopefully they'll keep it as a regular, because this is a great family book. If you have kids, I highly recommend you pick this up. It is cute, it is funny, and also has enough jokes for comic book fans to get. And the artwork, I mean, stellar. So there's Crypto, and all kinds of characters from the DC universe popping up, not just Teen Titans as well. And they're just funny situations. I mean, it's just great. Brainiac, Simon, Superboy, Raven, just it is Legion, members of the Legion. It is just a great comic for kids. I absolutely adore this comic, and I was so afraid that I was not going to be able to get a copy of it. So please run, do not walk, run to pick up a copy of Tiny Titans Return to the Treehouse. And while you're at your comic store, go check out the trades, see if you can find the other trades, and read this absolutely brilliant and excellent book by Art Baltazar and Franco. I cannot stress it enough how much Tiny Titans is great. My kids love it. My daughter loves it, and I love it as a fan of comics and of family-friendly stuff. So go, run, walk, don't walk. Someone did, because I had one viewer, now I have 0 viewers. They're actually going. They're going to go pick it up right now. Sorry, it's hot and humid and sticky here, and I'm thirsty. Next up is Green Lantern number 32. Now, before I show you the cover, let me tell you what's going on in DC this month. DC has decided to release their comics with 2 covers, the regular cover and a special bombshell edition, where it's going to focus more on the female characters that might be affiliated with that comic in old-fashioned style 1940s, 1950s bombshell type of poses. Now, there's a lot of really good ones out there, and I wish I could have bought a lot of them, but I had to pick and choose what I could buy because I was low on finances. So there's some really good ones. A good one which I didn't buy, which I highly recommend, is Detective Comics number 31, I guess. Or 32, excuse me, Detective Comics number 32. I didn't buy it, but it has a awesome Poison Ivy cover on it. And all the comics, with the exception maybe like the weeklies and some stuff, they tend to have this bombshell cover on. So in some cases I bought the bombshell cover. Sometimes I bought the regular cover. In this case, Green Lantern, I bought the bombshell cover because it just looks great. This is the cover to the bombshell cover. It's Carol Ferris era, old style, 1940s style thing. It's gorgeous looking, but on the inside it is the continuing adventures of Green Lantern. J.G. Jones did the artwork for the variant cover. Pretty cool. So, but it's continuing the Uprising storylines going on in the Green Lantern story, written by Rob Vendetti with art by Billy Tan and Rob Hunter. Green Lantern is a continually wonderful series. Good artwork. A great space opera if you like space opera stuff. And even after Jeff Johns left, it has kept up its quality. So fantastic. So you'll see some more of the bombshell covers. As I said, I didn't buy all of them. I wish I had enough money that I could buy both, because there are some really, really good bombshell covers out there, and some okay ones. And then the regular covers are okay as well. I did mention the weekly ones. DC is doing 2 weekly titles, Batman Eternal and Future's End. So I've been keeping up with those. Actually, really good stories. I was able to catch up on them this week. Batman Eternal is really ratcheting up the pressure on Batman and causing some major problems for him in Gotham. And Future's End started off a little slow, but it's starting to pick up a little bit, and it's interesting to see a glimpse of the DC Universe 5 years in the future. So this week real quick, those who watched the show 2 weeks ago, I was on the hunt for Batman Eternal number 7. I actually found it the day after I did my show, so I was able to find Batman Eternal number 7. I bought it. I read it. I also bought Forever Evil number 7, which is the final issue as well of that miniseries. Bought that as well. So I did get him, so we're all in good shape. So Batman Eternal number 9 is continuing the saga, Batman and his family taking on just a major storyline that is just changing the scope of the Gotham universe, Gotham City. It's co-written by Scott Snyder, James Tynion IV, John Layman, Ray Fawkes, Tim Seeley. So they all have a little hand in it. And Guillaume March is again doing the artwork of this one. Pretty nice artwork. Batman is actually in Hong Kong, as is Catwoman. So some Guillaume March Catwoman kicking butt. And there's the Bat Cave. Interesting as well. And some interesting stuff going on. a interesting character is being introduced that I don't think we've ever seen before. I'm not showing you who it is. I don't want to ruin the surprise, but just some more of the Guillaume March artwork. It's going to be quite a surprise, and I can't wait to see where it goes. And it makes sense when you saw the future version of this. Batman, like issue 28 of the regular series of Batman, took a break from its Year Zero storyline to do a future look at Batman, which is going to fit into this Batman Eternal down the line, and you met some new characters. It looks like this character who's introduced in number 9 is going to be the new character that we did not see very much of. So I will not spoil. Go get it for yourself. Future's End number 5. Got Firestorm on the cover. It's the end of Firestorm. If you've been reading the series, you know stuff is not good for Firestorm right now. This one, again, is team written by Brian Azzarello, Keith Giffen, Dan Jurgens, and Jeff Lemire, or Lemire, however you want to describe it. And Jesus Marino and Dan Green are the artists on this one. Pretty standard superhero work. It's not bad. But once again, this takes place 5 years in the future. The DC Universe is not in good shape right now, and there's some crazy stuff. John Constantine is making an appearance, so it looks like we're going to be visited by aliens and other stuff as well. So, Future's End, check it out. It's actually getting to be a pretty good story. That's it for DC. As I said, June 4th was just a slow week, so not a lot out there for me. Now we're going to Marvel. I've got only 2 Marvels. First up is Moon Knight, which is an excellent story as well. Warren Ellis is writing the hell out of the book. Declan Shalvey is doing a great job. With the artwork. This issue looks like it's a crazy drug-addled dream sequence type of thing that only Warren Ellis could write, and Declan is doing a fantastic job of drawing. I mean, it looks like a lot of it's done without captions, but it's gorgeous artwork. Great storyline. Warren Ellis is very quick and to the point and makes some very interesting things, and getting really excited for where he's going to be taking this. So Moon Knight looks really, really good, and is really, really good, and I highly recommend you check it out. Another book that has surprised me, and I mentioned this before, but I got caught up on this as well, is Magneto. This is Magneto number 5, came out last week. Pretty interesting cover. It's written by Cullen Bunn, who's doing a great job of it, with art by Gabriel Hernandez Walta, which is very nice. Just very, very great. Sometimes just very, not a lot going on. Interesting stuff, but it's good artwork. It's a great story, fantastic story, and it's not really an ongoing story arc. You get some ongoing a little bit, but it's been a lot of single stories, which is giving Magneto a new lease on life and a new path to go. So it's excellent story, and I can't wait to read this issue. And that's it from Marvel. Next up is my independents. I only got 2 of those. Awesome. This surprised me how much I liked this book. I don't know what I was expecting when I started reading it, but I read the first issue. I enjoyed it immensely. It's The Woods by James Tynion. This is issue number 2. James Tynion IV and Michael Dialynis. Excuse me. What I like about it is it's got a very old school sort of. The premise is kind of like a 1980s John Hughes type of movie set on another planet. Now, let me explain what that means. I'm not ruining anything by telling you the premise of the story. Basically, a high school, you get introduced to all the different clique members, you know, the gay kid, the actor, the wannabe leader, the jock, you know, the artist, all that stuff. And it's your typical, your typical cliche roles, but they're given a little bit of a different view in this. Something happens, and they are transported to some other planet, and now they're going to go out and investigate it a little bit. The kids are, the teachers want to stay at home, but a small group of kids are going to go out and investigate it and see if they can find their way back home. So you're basically going to have two stories: the story of the teachers and the students back at the school, and this group of misfit kids searching the planet. It's an excellent story from Boom Studios, which my friend Philip Sablik works for, and is fantastic. So, Colin Button has written another book called The Empty Man. I got to check that out too. But yeah, here's some of the crazy artwork. You know, other planets, and it's your typical sort of high school comic story, but you put those clicks on another planet and see how they survive. So it's brilliant. The Woods I highly recommend it. It's not like your typical superhero comic. It is something completely different, and I highly recommend it. Making disgusting gulping sounds. Anyway, the last book for the first week of June 4th. I did this deliberately because, if you recall, how much I gushed about Tiny Titans Return to the Treehouse. Well, that's not the only book that came out this week by Art Balthazar and Franco. They have another book out called Captain Action Cat, which is someone that they created themselves, and they have teamed up with Dark Horse Comics to do, and they're being published by Dynamite Comics, but they've hooked up with Dark Horse Comics to do it. They self-published it digitally first, and now it's being broadcast by, not broadcast, printed out by Dynamite. But it's the same, got the same sort of scenario that Tiny Titans, except the Tiny Titans have characters that you're used to. These are brand new characters. If you like cats, it's Action Cats, sort of like an old 1950s sci-fi serial type of thing, and you get a look at some of Dark Horse's characters. That's the Ghost and Mr. X are in this as well, and it's just about time-traveling cats who go to try to save the day against the bad guy who's making his way through time as well. Art Balthazar, Franco, once again, brilliant. I have read the first issue, enjoyed it immensely. Check out Captain Action Cat as well. Once again, all ages for everybody. So, book ended this week with two Art Balthazar and Franco books: Tiny Titans Return to the Treehouse and Captain Action Cat. So go, run, don't walk, to try to find those. They came out last week. You might still be able to find them. So, that's last week's stuff. Now, what a difference a week makes, because this is all the stuff that I bought that came out this week. That's a lot more now, isn't it? Some more Bombshell covers, and some more independent ones, and a lot more family-friendly ones. So, this is all stuff that came out this week. So, you go to your comic store. The stuff that I'm about to show you right now should be in the new comics this week section. So go, if you see something you like, go check it out and get it. First up is one of my new favorite comics from DC Comics, Justice League United, otherwise known as Justice League Canada. This is one of the Bombshell covers. This is the Star Spangled Girl doing her thing. I picked up this cover rather than the other one because the other one pretty much had a generic battle between Hawkman and Lobo, and I do not like the new Lobo, the new 52, and it looks like a generic one. But this one, so I picked this up. So the basic premise is a group of superheroes: Adam Strange, Green Arrow, Martian Manhunter, Star Spangled Girl, and now it appears that Supergirl has joined them as well. Are teaming up to help take on the galaxy's worst bad guys. They'll be headquartered probably in Canada. Jeff Lemire, who's the artist, or rather the artist, is the writer, is from Canada, so he will give Canada its props, and it's drawn by Mike McKone and Dexter Vines. Justice League United has been a fantastic series. I've enjoyed it immensely. Adam Strange is one of my absolute favorite characters, and I love Martian Manhunter as well. So I highly recommend everyone pick up Justice League United. Pick up either the Bombshell cover, like the one I have, or the actual regular cover. Next up is Batgirl number 32. Now, I didn't get the Bombshell cover of Batgirl 32. It was gorgeous, but there was just something about this cover that I really, really loved, and I love this cover. This is the regular cover. Batgirl being surrounded apparently is being watched by somebody. We don't know who. I guess we find out this issue because I haven't read these yet. You know, Batgirl has been a consistently well-written series. I got caught up on this weekend also, this week as well. It is a great series. I was a bit hesitant when they brought Barbara Gordon back because I liked her role as Oracle, being in the wheelchair, being paralyzed, but being a major force to reckon with. And then when they brought her back as Batgirl, I was kind of about it. But Gail Simone is a great writer, and she's been doing a great job on the series, and the series is fantastic. Artwork is by Fernando Passerian and Jonathan Glapian, and it's very good as well. You can't get much better than just you get the good background stuff, some good character stuff as well. Let's see if I can get a good picture of Batgirl. Some Batgirl kicking butt, crushing teeth, and smashing faces in. So, Batgirl is a great series. I've made you read that as well. It's going in a really neat direction right now, and I really like it. I talked about these before, and I'm going to talk about them again. They're weekly. Batman Eternal number 10 is up right now. Batman Eternal number 10. There you go. Catwoman and Batman on the cover. Once again, writers Scott Snyder, James Tynion IV, Ray Fawkes, Sean Layman, Tim Seeley. This time the artwork is by Riccardo Burchielli, which is kind of a different style than Guillaume March and some of the other guys, but being a weekly, you're going to get a whole bunch of different styles. And there's not much you can do about that. So it looks like, stuff is happening, stuff is going on, crazy things are going on in the world of Gotham, and you've got to read the book to find out. It's a good story. Once again, this one started off slow. Who's calling me? Let's see who's calling me. No, I'm not going to go back there. Right here. So that was my Batman Eternal number 10. This is Future's End number 6. This is the other weekly series going on right now. Once again, written by Brian Azzarello, Keith Giffen, Dan Jurgens, Jeff Lemire, with art by Patrick Zurcher, who did some of the earlier stuff. Once again, 5 years in the future. We've got different storylines going on, different characters, ones you're not usually used to. This one is Frankenstein, and they're going into the Bleed to find authority. Frankenstein's involved with that. Looks like Black Adam is going to be in this one as well. Red Robin, Lois Lane, Superman, a new style Superman is in it. We don't know which Superman, if it's Clark Kent or if it's someone else. We're not sure because they're wearing a motorcycle helmet of some kind on their head. So we don't know what's going on with that. And it's Mr. Terrific. So as well. Green Lantern Corps number 32. They had a bombshell cover as well. I almost bought it. It had Arisa on the cover. But then I saw the actual cover, and I was like, I got to buy this instead because it's just an awesome cover. Bernard Chang, John Stewart taking on a whole army of people. Uprising is continuing. It's got 2 more parts left to go. Green Lantern Corps is written by Van Jensen with art by Bernard Chang. And it looks like Murtad has joined him in this one as well. Pretty interesting stuff going on here. So, Selak, all kinds of different Green Lanterns that you see. So, Green Lantern Corps, once again, up there with the Green Lantern series of books as well. So, it's fantastic. DC is releasing a new number 1 this week. Infinity Man and the Forever People, number 1. This is going to have, I think, a major impact on the future of the DC universe as well. Dan Didio is the writer, is co-writing it with Keith Giffen, who also does the artwork. And Giffen is going for a very Kirby-ish type of look because he's using characters that Jack Kirby created in the Forever People. I can see why he's doing that. And they're part of the New Gods and Darkseid and all that stuff. So Forever People was always a good series. I like the Forever People. It's a good series as well. So hopefully this will be good. I mean, from what I heard, it has a major connection to what's coming in the DC universe. So you might want to start at the beginning, Infinity Man and the Forever People. So check that out. It is a #1, so you can get caught up on the ground floor, and that is your DC. We got some Marvel here. It's a good image to see. First one up. I cannot tell you how much I am enjoying this series, Nightcrawler. I am enjoying this series more than anything. Nightcrawler is one of my absolute favorite characters, and this comic has been excellent so far. Chris Claremont is doing a great job writing. He's the ex-master, and the fact is he's writing a fun series, and Todd Nuck's artwork is just absolutely perfect for the series. Nightcrawler needs to be fun, exciting. He's got a love interest in an old flame of his, which, you know, they have a history together. He's gone back to the circus that helped raise him. And it looks like in this issue we got the X-Men making an appearance. So it's a great series. Chris Claremont is doing a great job writing it. Looks like Nightcrawler is going out drinking with his buddy Wolverine again. So that's fantastic. Great series. I highly recommend. You might still. This is issue 3. You might still be able to find 1 and 2 elsewhere. I highly recommend you pick them all up. You read them. You enjoy them. It's a fun book. Its artwork is perfectly suited, and Chris Claremont is writing some of the best stuff he's done in a while, just because he's thrown off the shackles of continuity and just having a fun time. What if he created Nightcrawler? I'm trying to remember. I don't remember. Anyway, Hulk #4, another great series Marvel's putting out there. Hulk #4, Mark Waid, Mark Bagley. Once again, Bagley's artwork is fitting perfectly with the Hulk. It's a fantastic series. Hulk is taking on the Abomination, and now he's got Captain America's shield. Bruce Banner, his brain is all messed up now, so sometimes he reverts to childlike talking, sometimes he's highly advanced. So, no, even make Daredevil gets an appearance, so Mark Waid gets to write Daredevil again as well in here too. So, check it out. The Hulk is fantastic. We're on issue 4. Once again, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to probably find the other issues for this as well. It's a good series. The artwork is fantastic. Mark Bagley is a great artist, and Mark Waid, of course, is just great writer, and it's just fantastic. Marvel is really doing some really good stuff, and I'm going to check it out. I got this one mostly for my wife, and I'm going to read it eventually. I haven't had a chance to get around to read it because I really want to read it, but my wife absolutely adores this. This is Captain Marvel, Captain Marvel #4. Kelly Sue DeConnick, writer, Dave Lopez art, and Captain Marvel is Carol Danvers, and she's all powerful, and she's going out exploring outer space and having outer space adventures, and it's a great series. From what my wife told me, she absolutely loves it. I have all the issues. I just haven't read it yet. This and Miss Marvel are 2 excellent female-centric characters. So if you're looking for female-centric characters that are strong females and not just, you know, pretty on your eyes and stuff like that, that have a little bit of substance to them, you know, pick up Captain Marvel, pick up Miss Marvel when that comes out in a couple weeks. Also, there's some really good comics, and Marvel is doing a wonderful job. Speaking of strong female characters, She-Hulk #5 by Charles Soule. Artwork is by someone different this week. It is Ron Wimberly. Kind of a different style artwork than we're used to on She-Hulk, but you know it still has Charles Soule's story. It still shows She-Hulk in a good light. Ooh, Tigra is making an appearance in this as well, so that's pretty cool. Let's see if I can take her over there. There she is. But you know, She-Hulk's been in the news lately due to some unflattering comments from some certain people, which I'm not going to get into right now. But She-Hulk, I've also haven't gotten caught up on this yet, but another strong female character. My wife loves the story. You need to check it out. It is fantastic, and I am going to read it. It's just a matter of getting to it when I have some time. So that's my Marvel and DCs. I've got a few independents, and then I'm going to shut this sucker down because I got a meeting I got to go to. The first book I'm going to talk about is I love this book. I've talked about it before, and we'll talk about it again. Manifest Destiny, number 7. Love this book. Love, love, love this book. I'm a history major. I have a BA in history from Albright College. I love history, and this is a different style type of history. It is a comic that follows Lewis and Clark. For those who don't know their history, Lewis and Clark were the guys who explored out west before we knew what was out there. We had just bought all that stuff from France and everything else, so we need to send somebody out there to see what's going on. So Lewis and Clark volunteered. They went out there. Sacagawea's in this as well. And so, you know, that's the part of history, you know, where they go, they explore. They've written multitude of books just describing everything about what they've seen, Yellowstone, the rivers, North Dakota, Buffalo, Indians, stuff like that. It's a good read. If you're interested in history, it's a very good read. Look for the journals of Lewis and Clark. There's a bunch of books of them that are the actual journals from them that have been transcribed into book format that are really good, really interesting, and very well written, not just and it's written by Lewis and Clark, so it's not just written by someone that heard what they said. It's transcribed from the journals that they got. So I check it out. So check it out if you want to know that aspect of history. If you want to see a different type of history, just take a look at this cover. It's a frog with octopus arms on it. And you get the idea of what Manifest Destiny is. Now in this comic, Lewis and Clark are exploring out west, like they're supposed to. But instead of finding, you know, well, they're finding all the beautiful stuff like Yellowstone, the rivers, Buffalo, like that. They're also finding mythical creatures also. So far in this 6 issues leading up to this one, they've dealt with minotaurs, they've dealt with plant people, and now it looks like they're going to be dealing with frogs with octopus arms. And it's such a great premise. Taking a historical event like that, exploring uncharted territory, the unknown, and adding a supernatural aspect to it. Artwork is phenomenal. Artwork, I believe, is by Matthew Roberts. The story is written by Chris Dingus. Or Dingus, I should say, maybe. Just fantastic artwork. Great story. The trade paperback just came out not too long ago. So if you want to pick it up, there's the lizard creature right there. And it's such a great premise. It's one of those premises that you're like, darn it, why didn't I think of that? Lewis and Clark exploring the uncharted territory that is out west and finding mythological creatures. It's brilliant. The comic, brilliant. Manifest Destiny, number 7. Trade is out there. Pick up the trade. Pick up issue 7. You'll love it. Next up from Image also is Starlight. Starlight came out with 3 or 4 different covers. I like this one just because of the simplicity of it. That's it. It's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous cover. Starlight is, I told you earlier when I was talking about Justice League United that I love Adam Strange. Starlight is a very similar story. The Starlight slash Adam Strange stuff harkens back to the John Carter of Mars, the Buck Rogers, Flash Gordon, all that. Humans who have been transported to other planets or the future, whatever you want to talk about, and they use their contemporary, present, 20th century, 21st century minds to help people on other planets. There's a whole little group of subculture of them, and this joins it. This is Mark Millar's version of that. So he's doing the art, he's writing it, and Goran Parlov is doing the artwork, and it's good artwork. So it's fantastic. It's fantastic artwork. It's a pretty good story. I've read everything so far. The basic premises, with Adam Strange and Buck Rogers and all that, is they stay and they help and they save the day. Well, what would happen if the hero ends up going back to Earth after defeating all the evil and the planet is now 100% perfect, and he decides to go back to Earth and continue to live his life on Earth and not get into this adventure, live a regular life and not a life of adventure. That's basically the premise of this, and it's a good story. It's a good aspect, a good way to take a look at it. Artwork is fantastic, as I said, and the story. I'm not usually a big Mark Millar fan, but this one's actually is winning me over pretty much. So Starlight, pick it up. I bought this one for my son. My son, I will give him props. He graduated from preschool today. He will be going to kindergarten this fall, and they held a graduation ceremony. I know it sounds silly, but it's for the kids. They like it, and they were so cute, so like that. But he's always been a fan of the Angry Birds game on like computer and telephone, and there's been an Angry Bird cartoon. Well, now there's Angry Bird comics. #1 from IDW. IDW is fantastic. Used to be one when I was a brand manager for Diamond Comics. They were one of my accounts, and they were great guys, and I'm so proud of them with being in a really good spot now that they've known mostly for their licensing books, and they license crazy stuff. I mean, they license your typical stuff like Doctor Who, Star Trek, Transformers, X-Files, stuff like that. You can see. And then you've got stuff like Mars Attacks and Judge Dredd and the Ghostbusters that they also do comics of. And then they have their whole other branch now where they do My Little Pony or Samurai Jack or Powerpuff Girls or Dexter. Dexter's Laboratory is coming up soon with a new comic that they did. The Littlest Pet Shop, which is a bunch of little action figures that you buy for little kids. My daughter has a ton of them. They've done a comic for it now. And, of course, now they're doing Angry Birds comic. And it's basically what you expect from it. It is Angry Birds, but in comic format. And there is a cartoon out there where they don't talk at all. They just talk like they do on the game. Here they actually have word balloons and stuff like that. But it's the basic thing where they're still blowing stuff up and they're still taking on the pigs and stuff like that. There's 3 stories in here, written by Jeff Parker, Paul Tobin, with art by Paco Rodriguez, Marco Gervasio, and Cesar Farioli. So I'm going to give this to my son, but I want to read it myself because I like Angry Birds also, and the artwork looks cute. It looks like a very cute thing. So Angry Birds comics #1. Looks like another family-friendly series. So there's lots of family-friendly stuff out there. So if you have young kids, go out there, and there are comics out there for kids, so go buy them. The last one I'm going to do for this week before I shut down is also a all-ages one. This is Lumberjanes #3. I've got the first 2 issues, talked about them before. It's basically about a group of girls, like Girl Scouts, and their adventures, written by Noelle Stevenson, which is named my daughter Noelle, and Grace Ellis with art by Brooke Allen. And, it's just typical, could be like Goonies-style adventure, but with a bunch of girls, Girl Scouts going on adventures and discovering things. Once again, another really good family-friendly book. So go to your comic store with your kids and have them check out some of these books. They might like some of these stuff. There's a whole bunch of stuff. The Archie books are all ages. Sonic the Hedgehog still has books, comics as well. So, go out there, family-friendly stuff, and enjoy. There are books out there for kids and for grown-ups as well, and make it a nice trip. So that's all for the comic haul. Once again, you probably won't see me again for 2 more weeks, but we'll see what happens. I might do one next week since next week is my birthday, and I'm going to get some birthday money, so maybe I'll be able to pick up some comics next week as well, and I'll do a special edition then. Until then, go to your comic book store this weekend. Check out some of the stuff I just showed you about. check out the family-friendly stuff. There is a lot of family-friendly stuff, a lot of kids stuff as well. And check out your stores. They might have special events going on. My store has special events going on every weekend. So have fun. Read comics. It's good. It's good. It's good. It helps you read. Helps kids read. And there's very good stories. Lots of good artwork. Lots of interesting characters. There's more to life than what you see in the movies. And it's in the comics. Good night, all.